If you've been struggling with fat loss, feeling stuck, or just don't know if you're doing things right, you're in the right place. Today, we're breaking down exactly how to lose fat and get toned over the next 6 months. You'll get a step-by-step guide to losing fat sustainably while keeping your energy levels up, preserving muscle, and staying sane in the process. Losing fat isn't just about eating less, it's about strategy. Knowing when to be in a deficit, when to take a break, how to adjust your workouts and food choices, and when to refuel can make the difference between success and burnout. So let's dive in. First, what is a calorie deficit? Simply put, it means eating fewer calories than your body burns so that it taps into stored fat for energy. But here's the key. The size of the deficit matters. If your deficit is too aggressive, you'll feel drained, lose muscle, and eventually binge due to constant hunger. If it's too small, progress will be slow and results may not be noticeable, leading to confusion about your efforts, stress, and a loss of motivation. So, how much of a deficit should you be in? A good rule of thumb is to aim for a moderate deficit of 300 to 500 calories per day. This typically leads to about 0.5 to 1 pound of fat loss per week, which may sound slow, but trust me, it's the best way to lose fat while keeping your muscles and metabolism healthy. To calculate your calorie needs, you can use a TDE, Total Daily Energy Expenditure Calculator. You can search for any online, as most will be fairly accurate. Simply enter your stats, get your maintenance calories, and subtract 300 to 500 calories to create your deficit. Now that we've got that covered, let's get into the 6-month breakdown. These first 2 months can be the hardest or easiest, depending on the type of person you are. If you are goal-oriented and willing to do whatever it takes to get results, then you'll be the most motivated during these first 2 months. The progress, even when small, will excite you and fuel your determination. However, if you are someone who finds it difficult to make changes in your life, hates leaving your comfort zone, and is barely motivated or disciplined enough to do so, then unfortunately, you may struggle quite a bit during these first 2 months. You may even find yourself slipping up often. But don't worry, you can go at the pace that works best for you. These first 2 months are all about getting into a rhythm, establishing your calorie deficit, and creating habits that will set you up for long-term success. When it comes to food choices, stick to 80% whole, nutrient-dense foods like lean proteins, veggies, healthy fats, and complex carbs. This keeps you full and energized. Protein is the key component in maintaining muscle during a calorie deficit, so aim for 0.8 to 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight. The best way to get your daily protein intake is to split it across at least 3 meals and aim for around 40 grams of protein per meal. You should get at least 30 grams from your main protein source and the rest from other food groups. But remember, the more you weigh, the more protein you require. If you weigh more, you may have to double your protein sources per meal to get the required amount, supplement with shakes, or eat more meals in smaller portions. Here's what a day of eating may look like. In the morning, you can have 2 whole eggs plus 2 eggs without the yolk. Add a few slices of turkey bacon or deli meat with 1 slice of whole grain bread. Don't forget veggies. You can add spinach or any other vegetable of your choice to your eggs. That should give you 35 to 40 grams of protein. You can also add cottage cheese or Greek yogurt for some extra protein. For lunch, you can have 150 grams of chicken breast or any other lean cut of meat with some high-protein pasta, potatoes, rice, or another carb source, along with a side of veggies. The chicken alone will provide 40 grams of protein with a few extra grams from your carbs. For dinner, pair your protein source with vegetables and limit carbs. If your portions are correct, you will have at least a 300-calorie deficit and around 120 grams of protein. Adding low-calorie, high-protein snacks like Greek yogurt will increase your protein intake while minimizing calories. Be sure to include your favorite meals in moderation. Cutting everything out too quickly leads to cravings and rebound weight gain. Plan indulgences into your week so you don't feel deprived. If you have a big event, adjust your calories and workouts to balance it out. Avoid the all-or-nothing mindset. One meal won't ruin your progress, but consistency will make or break your results. If you have never tracked food before, I highly recommend tracking your daily intake using an app like MyFitnessPal. I know it can be tedious, and we hate the thought of it, but trust me, it's necessary to achieve your goals. We often don't realize how much we overeat because we inaccurately measure our portion sizes and underestimate the amount of food we consume. Some common foods we often measure inaccurately are oils, nut butter, rice, and shredded cheese. These portion sizes are much smaller than we think, and pack way more calories than we realize. Practice tracking your meals daily, and over time, you will be able to make accurate judgments and rely less on daily tracking. When measuring your progress, the scale is the least reliable method as weight can fluctuate due to water retention, hormones, and weighing at different times of the day. Also, the scale does not depict fat loss and muscle gain, which can drastically alter physical appearance while keeping weight the same. The recommended tracking methods are progress photos and body measurements. 1 pound of fat weighs the same as 1 pound of muscle. However, fat is bulkier than muscle. So, if you lose fat and gain muscle, you may weigh the same but look smaller and leaner. You will also quickly notice the difference in the way your clothes fit. To achieve a toned physique, strength training is necessary. You can start with 3 times a week, and if you are new to strength training, at-home bodyweight exercises can be sufficient when done right. Prioritize compound movements like squats, lunges, push-ups, and dips. If working out at a gym, adding isolation exercises like lateral pull-downs, hip thrusts, bicep curls, and leg extensions can be extremely beneficial to further defining your muscles. Cardio is also a key component for fat loss. Walking 8,000 to 10,000 steps per day is recommended as it can significantly increase daily calorie expenditure and lower cortisol levels, which may help prevent fat retention, especially around the midsection. Studies also suggest that consistent walking helps to use stored fat for energy. If you hate cardio, walking is perfect as it is low impact and highly accessible. Investing in a desk treadmill or walking pad will make hitting your daily step count much easier, as you can walk at a speed of 3.0 and hit 1,000 steps every 10 minutes. If you're watching a 45-minute TV show, just 2 episodes will put you over the 8,000 step count. You can also get your steps by walking while doing daily activities such as listening to an audiobook, taking a phone call, or joining a meeting. By now, your body has adapted, and fat loss may slow down. This is normal. The goal is to stay consistent and make small adjustments to keep progress going. If fat loss stalls, follow these steps. Reduce calories by another 100 to 200 per day. Increase your cardio by adding an extra 10 to 15 minutes of walking per day, or add a high-intensity interval training session once or twice a week. Don't overdo cardio, as too much can lead to muscle loss. Keep strength training 3 times per week, and ensure you are increasing weights or reps to challenge your muscles. Focus on your protein intake. Remember to aim for 0.8 to 1 gram per pound of body weight to keep muscle and stay full. If you've been in a deficit for 4 months straight, your metabolism has adapted to the deficit. You might feel fatigued, hungry, or have reduced energy. This is where a diet break is needed. A diet break means eating at maintenance for 1 to 2 weeks to allow your metabolism to recover and hormones to reset, and give yourself a mental break. Don't worry, you won't gain fat if you stick to maintenance. During your break, increase calories to your maintenance level by adding 300 to 500 calories daily. Be sure to keep everything else the same. Maintain your strength training and your daily step count. This break reduces cravings, helps with diet fatigue, and sets you up for continued progress. Stay on this break for as long as your body needs, but do not go over 4 weeks. Once your body has recovered, re-enter your deficit. Now that you're refreshed, it's time for one final deficit phase to tighten up your physique. Return to a 300 to 500 calorie deficit. Keep strength training and walking high, and increase activity if you can. After 6 months, decide if you want to maintain, build muscle in a surplus, or fine-tune your physique further. If close to your goal, stay in a small deficit for a few more weeks before transitioning to maintenance. There you have it, your 6 months guide to fat loss while in a calorie deficit. Remember, consistency and discipline are key, but with God's strength, you can stay committed to your journey. If this breakdown helped you, let me know in the comments. I'd love to hear how your journey is going and what your biggest fat loss challenge is. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you don't miss future videos with more practical fitness tips. Keep pushing forward and trust that God will guide you every step of the way.